Good afternoon. In this video, we're going to go over this week's options watch list. Before I get into the watch list, if you're not in the room, you can find the link in the description of the video and in my bio section of social media accounts. Also, please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Now, before we get into the watch list, the put to call ratio is fairly low, but not really that bad. It's at 0.67, not really extreme lows. It's just been kind of chopping around. The economic calendar for the week. Obviously, today is a holiday. It's President's Day, so we get a short week this week. On the economic calendar, we have flash PMI at 9:45 on Tuesday. Existing home sales at 10. Wednesday, we have FOMC. Now, we don't have Powell, which means we could probably get a good move. I prefer the FOMC days without Powell because SPX options are so expensive when Powell's speaking. You end up playing a 100-point spread and paying $7 or $8 per contract. Without Powell, SPX options are a lot cheaper. You can get practically at the money for $5 or $6, and they end up going 200 or 300% very, very easily on small moves. So definitely prefer no Powell speaking FOMC days. So Wednesday would be the big day to play. Then Thursday we have preliminary GDP unemployment claims. And Friday we have core PCE, personal income, new home sales, consumer sentiment. So we got that on the economic calendar. Now I'm not looking at too much right here. I'm going to keep it simple because FOMC is on Wednesday. SPY, we've been in a 405 to 415 range. We're probably going to stay in that range until FOMC and see what happens. Also keep in mind that we have a lot of unknowns going on in the world right now. We got Biden over in Ukraine right now. That could end up escalating tensions with China and Russia and stuff like that. So we are just one headline away from the market dropping 10, 20 points in a flash. So if you're going to play calls, just play small and be cautious. Everything may look fine and dandy on the chart and bullish or whatever, and a headline drops and we're down $10 in a heartbeat. So just we are one headline away from a disaster. So just be cautious of that. And I would watch SPY underneath the 405 area for a push to 400, and we get underneath 400, 395, then 390. Then we have this big area down here at the 385 and 380. Well, who knows if we'll even drop that far, but we're probably going to need a pretty significant headline for that to happen. But like I said, anything can happen. So definitely not. That's the area to watch on the short side. If we get a run up into FOMC, I would watch it over 410 for a push to 415. Well, 413, 415. And this area is the 417. We could definitely see a push to 422, but I think that will stay underneath 415 unless we end up breaking out. Sometimes my SPY just ends up acting stupid and breaking out over nothing. We get bad news and it breaks out, so who knows? I wouldn't underestimate SPY. We could definitely see 420 on that. We get a nice big and inverted head and shoulders on the weekly. You get the left, the head, and the right shoulder. This could definitely end up playing out this week, maybe not. I don't know. I think that it's all going to be dependent on the things that happen in the market as far as like Russia, Ukraine, FOMC, and stuff like that. So obviously the market doesn't seem to care about the numbers or the data coming out in the morning because the numbers came in hot last week and the market just didn't care and just shrugged it off. So eventually it will stop shrugging off the bad numbers and actually end up catching up with reality. But I wouldn't hold your breath because SPY can be more ridiculous than anything. So definitely keep an eye on SPY. Those are the areas of watching. I think it stays in that channel until FOMC or unless a news event happens. Roku's got kind of like a head and shoulders going on the what time frame did I see that on? I think it was the 10-minute. No, it wasn't the 10-minute. I saw it on the time frame. I think it was the 10-minute because well, we got inverted cup and handle shaping up right here at the cup, the handle. I'm probably thinking of something else. No, can't do that. Whoops, I got all these charts all messed up here. Where are you? Right there. So I don't know what time frame I saw that on. I saw our Head and Shoulders. It might be because of the 10-minute. I don't have the after hours on. I'm sure if I turn the after hours on, I'm not going to mess with this chart. That it's there. So yeah, go back to the hourly. But inverted, even on the hourly, you can see right here underneath the 69 level that it gets underneath the 69. It's inverted cup and handle, and you can end up filling the gap right here. So definitely keep an eye on Roku to fill this gap. You can see the nice big green candle up from earnings and an inside red candle. Definitely could see a gap fill on that. That's what I'd be looking for on Roku. BA is just stuck in this channel. Weekly channel right here between you can say 205 to 215, kind of like SPY. The 15-point spread right there, 10-point spread. I'd watch underneath the what is this low right here? Well, I'll get that low 207. But you can watch puts underneath 209 for push down to the 204 area, and it breaks this 204 area. You definitely get some room to drop down to the 200, be a big number. Then you got the 190, 195, then 190 area. For a big 190 will be a pretty big area too if it breaks 200. So definitely keep an eye on Boeing, Netflix. Maybe it was Netflix I saw the Head and Shoulders on. Yeah, it was Netflix, not Roku, sorry. Yeah, I get the left shoulder here, the head, and the right shoulder. It was Netflix, not Roku, so my mistake for saying that. But yeah, I knew one of the things I was looking at had a Head and Shoulders. It's definitely Netflix. So I would watch it underneath, let's see, they're closed at, what, 347. I'd watch it underneath 343. Gets underneath 343, get gap support right down here at 3. We get 340 right here, gap support 335. Breaks that, get gap fill down here at the 324 area. So definitely watch to see if this Head and Shoulders on Netflix plays out. Tesla. Now Tesla is still, chopping in here right around the 208, 210 area. Well, the range is like what, 215 to 190. So if it gets out of this range, one of the things I'm looking at is that it's over the 20 EMA on the weekly, and if it does manage to get over this 215 area, maybe it does decide to pop to the 225, 230, 240 area. Who knows if that actually will do that. Just something to think about, that if it does get out of this range. Tesla does have a habit of being ridiculous, and when it breaks out, it has strong moves. So, but I mean, it could definitely drop too. So if the market's weak, gets underneath 198, could see a push down to 190, 180, 175, 170. So basically every $5 is a support on Tesla. So Tesla could go either way, but I'd be looking at it more on the, if it gets over the 215 area, that we could see it push to 220 plus. So definitely keep an eye on that. Meta, they just dropped news over the weekend that they want to do like Twitter's doing, make people pay for verification. I don't even know who even uses Facebook anymore. Facebook's kind of just a dying horse. Instagram doesn't seem like it's really going much either. But when you're out of ideas, that's what you usually end up doing, I guess. Who knows? I would imagine it'd be pretty good for the investors. The market will probably end up liking the move. Not saying it's going to be the best move, but I'd watch it over 175 or push to 180, 185, 190, 195, and this height is 195. Well, 197. Could get a push to 200. But I also look at it from the point of view that if it does not, the market doesn't like it, the market's dumping, I'd watch it underneath 169 to fill this gap. I definitely would rather see a gap fill than anything, but the market doesn't care what I think or what I want. It's going to do what I want. So we'll have to see how the market reacts to this verification thing. The market could hate it. I don't know. Market's been kind of crazy lately. Microsoft, the last one, it's holding the 20 EMA on the daily. Also kind of got like a little head and shoulders, the left, the head, and the right shoulder right here. So even though it did hold a 20 EMA, it could bounce right here and fill this gap to 260. But if the market's weak, we could definitely see something underneath this 255 to 250, 245, 240, 235. But if it does end up holding it over this 260, you can fill the gap to 265 or 262, and then run to 265, 270, which is right in here, and 275, which is right here. So I think it could bounce off this area, but I don't know. But the MACD is just starting to cross over, so maybe it does end up dropping more, but we'll have to see what happens. But the hourly is very, very oversold. That's why I'm leaning more towards a bounce. We could possibly end up getting a bounce to the 265 area before going lower. So Microsoft could end up having a couple good plays right there. We'll have to see what happens. Like I said, what we're anticipating and what could happen could be two different things. That's why I need to be in the room, take it day by day and play by play, and news could drop at any time and just change the whole play dynamic. So that's why you need to be in the room. So that's going to do it for the watch list. Thanks for watching.